Dude, bro, that hoop session was fire.
Yeah, you're getting hella buff, man.
She's killing me. And I got like blisters and it's all flaky. And it itches OD too. You said athlete's foot? No, I've never heard of it. Alright, bro, I'm gonna take a look at it because I need to find something to fix this because it's killing me. Alexa, give me a newscast on athlete's foot.
Are you getting blisters in between your toes?
Yeah,
Do you have cracking and flaking under your feet?
I do.
Morning, Bridgewater. My name is Tyler Oliveira here with Bridgewater Health News. And if you answered yes to any of those questions, you may suffer from an overlooked yet important health issue called athlete's foot, also known as Tinea Pedis. Whether you're an athlete or not, I recommend you listening in as everyone can get it. So lace up and let's get started. Tinea pedis, which we'll commonly refer to as athlete's foot. What even is it? Well, firstly, it is a fungus infection that primarily affects the bottom of your feet. It is caused by dermaphytes, which is a type of fungus that thrives in warm, moist environments like locker rooms, showers, and even those favorite pairs of sneakers that you haven't washed in months. Symptoms can again include redness, itching, flaking, and sometimes even cracking of the skin. If untreated, it can spread to other body parts and lead to bacterial infections. Now, how common is athlete's foot? Well, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, approximately 15% of people are reported with athlete's foot at any given time, with higher prevalence among athletes and those who frequently use communal showers and are in and out of the locker room. Athlete's foot is simply just moisture building up in your feet that cause fungus to grow. So there are a plethora of risk factors that are involved in doing that, such as firstly environmental factors. If you live in a warm, humid space, you're gonna, build up that moisture. If you share facilities such as bathrooms and showers, that bacteria on the ground or all around you can easily be transferred onto you. And if you wear the tight, non-breathable shoes, it just restricts the airflow. So you're more prone to sweat and build up all that moisture, which can lead to the fungus. And then there's some behavioral factors, things that you kind of control a little bit more. First is, again, walking barefoot in bathrooms. You have the choice to, put on some shower shoes, take care of your feet a little bit more. Poor hygiene practice plays a part in that. If you're not scrubbing your feet, washing them, changing your socks often, you're more prone to get athlete's foot than if you are. But then there are also some medical and biological factors that you can't really control as much, such as a weakened immune system. So those who have a weakened immune system are more likely to obtain infections and athlete's foot as a whole. If you have excessive sweating, which is called hyperhidrosis, you're just gonna sweat all around your body much more, including your feet. Those are gonna build up that moisture. And then if you have any previous fungal infections, that can kind of just open up the door to more fungus coming in. And then, like I said before, you don't have to be an athlete to get athlete's foot, but it is very common in athletes. And if you play high impact sports or you're sharing equipment, just that bacteria pass from one another, pass from the equipment to yourself. Those type of things can lead to athlete's foot. Now let's talk symptoms. Athlete's foot does not look like the same for everyone. Some people may experience scaling and redness between the toes and feet, or maybe some people would have a dry and flaky rash on the soles of the bottom of the feet. In severe cases, you may develop blisters and ulcers, and if you get to that point, you should act as quickly as possible. Joining us now is Dr. Oliveira, a pediatrician that specializes in fungal infections. Dr. Oliveira, can you hear us? Alrighty. Why is it that athlete's foot often goes unnoticed or untreated for so long?
Thank you, Tyler. Dr. Oliveira here now. One of the main reasons why those initial symptoms are kind of overlooked and ignored are because they don't have much effect on you. Irritable skin, redness, flaky skin,
doesn't affect people too much, especially on the bottoms of their feet, so they kind of just ignore it. Also, it's easily misinterpreted to some dry skin or just my shoes are a little too tight for my feet, so it's easily ignored. Also, there's a stigma around feet-related problems, so a lot of people are a bit embarrassed to bring that in. But if you do have problems with your feet, or any part of your body for that, it's important to check in as fast as possible, as getting care for it as early as possible is the best way to get back to 100%. Back to you, Tyler. Great advice, Dr. Oliveira. Now let's move on to some treatment options that we may be able to use to get rid of that Tinea pedis, also known as athlete's foot. The good news here is athlete's foot is highly curable, with a plethora of different over-the-counter options of antifungal sprays, creams, or even powders. Depending on the severity of the infection or the case, you have to use a higher or lower dose of it, but it is always important to follow the instructions on carefully. Even after the symptom's gone, continue to use it and make sure that it's gone.
Whoa! That's one monster case of athlete's foot. Hit that with Tough Actin Tinactin. It cools and cures most athlete's foot on the whole foot. Lamisil gel can't say that. Get boom! Tough Actin Tinactin.
Prevention, of course, is always better than treatment. So I'm going to pop up 5 ways to keep your feet fungus-free. 1. Keep your feet clean and dry, especially between the toes. 2. Wear breathable footwear made of natural materials. 3. Always use flip-flops in public showers or pool areas. 4. Avoid sharing shoes or socks with others. And 5. Regularly wash and thoroughly dry your socks and shoes. Now I'm going to swing it over to Haley Hernandez from KPRC2 News to inform you guys how to treat athlete's foot.
Hey, you may want to put breakfast on pause for the next couple minutes of my health report. As many as 15% of Americans suffer from athlete's foot. It's a fungal infection that usually begins between the toes, but there are some remedies in your home that could help knock out this common ailment.
Red, itchy, and irritated. We're talking about athlete's foot, and you don't need to be an athlete to get it. In fact, this common fungal infection can affect anyone. So how do you get rid of it? First, try an over-the-counter antifungal cream, lotion, powder, or spray. If you're looking to go the natural route, soak your feet in a Listerine and vinegar 50-50 solution. The thymol in the Listerine has antifungal properties. Tea tree oil is another popular home treatment for fungus infections. Rub it into your skin twice a day, but never drink it. And Vicks Vapor Rub contains eucalyptus oil and menthol, which can help fight fungi. One study showed Vicks reduced athlete's foot symptoms in more than half of people who applied it. To prevent the infection, keep feet dry, especially between your toes. Change your socks often, sometimes twice a day. Wear light, well-ventilated shoes, and don't share shoes. And don't walk barefoot in public showers, pools, or locker rooms.
Now, you want to be sure to talk to your doctor before trying any home remedies for athlete's foot. Some severe cases might require a prescription strength medicine.
Let's address some common myths about athlete's foot. Firstly, like I said before, you do not have to be an athlete to get athlete's foot. Anyone can get it. Secondly, a lot of people think it's a hygiene thing, but it's not. Fungus kind of lingers in any wet and damp environment, waiting for that perfect moment to strike. So if you have wet socks, shoes, if you just have wet feet, it can strike you at any moment. Another myth, people think walking barefoot at home is safe. While it's okay in your personal space, walking barefoot in public bathrooms, public showers can dramatically increase the risk of you developing athlete's foot. I'm going to rattle off some statistics about athlete's foot for you guys. Firstly, just like I said before, it affects about 15 to 25% of people worldwide at a given time. But about 70% of individuals who once have athlete's foot will get it again. So if you have athlete's foot when you're younger, you're probably going to get it when you're older. Men are more likely to get it than women, about 2 to 4 times more likely, actually. And then it is more common in adults and children. And then risk factors, like I said before, athletes are about 30 to 40% more likely to report symptoms of athlete's feet than just the normal person. This could be due to frequent use of communal spaces, which is actually the other risk factor, like I said before, just sharing bathrooms, sharing showers, just communal space will definitely increase your chances of developing athlete's foot. And then treatment overall, especially for mild cases, are very successful. Up to 80 to 90% are resolved. And then severe cases that require require oral antifungals have a success rate about 70 to 80%, so still very high, even if it gets to a severe point. And lastly, having healthy feet is a foundation to living an active life. So take steps, both literally and figuratively, to protect yourself from athlete's foot. For more tips, you can reach us at www.bridgewaternews.com. Thanks for tuning in and stay healthy. Bye-bye. Jeez, I really ought to take better care of my feet. Good thing I got some of this. Pass me the ball.